Brian, I'm totally shocked. You've had this bike like 4 months now and you haven't torn it apart yet.
You're not any more shocked than I am. How's that?
That's
that
a
make
start.
you feel better? Welcome to Two Guys Garage. Today, we're gonna take this bike, we're gonna blow it apart, we're gonna paint it, lay out our own graphics, and we're gonna show you behind the scenes how the paint's made, how it's mixed, how it's tested. Stay tuned. What do you think? Feel good?
Oh yeah, I like it. Feels good. You can only put a couple miles on this thing?
Absolutely.
Cool, I love this bike. I see the graphics are coming out pretty cool. Little explosion pattern happening. I see you got the emblems off already.
Yeah, what we did, we took a heat gun and you heat the vinyl and kind of subtly lift it, and that's pretty much the same on any car when you want to get rid of some emblems.
Cool, I love what's underneath. Great alloy space frame with integral fuel cell inside, saving weight. Stiff, inverted forks, radially mounted rotors, 6-piston calipers. It's a real thoroughbred, like a race bike, but yet on the inside it's got American V-twin power to it. I love it.
Yeah, normally you get an inline 4 on most sport bikes, so you get a real high RPM, you know, so
Yeah.
it's from, 6,000 up, whereas this thing is up to 6,000 is where you really get the power from 2006. So you get in it, and that real low end just really
it's got
pulls you
grunt.
out.
Yeah, but it goes fast, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's still light. Now the thing we didn't do is I haven't touched it for 6 months, which is a miracle. And we've pulled everything apart, and what we're gonna do is kind of do some cool graphics. First thing we need to do is clean the surface. So you wanna use like a DupliColor prep spray like this. Spray it on, wipe it off, get your surface good and clean. Then you wanna get some surface adhesion with a scuff pad or some fine sandpaper. That's the next thing you wanna do. Get everything taped off. It's a very simple process. What we're gonna use is DupliColor Paint Shop. Cool thing about this, it's right out of the can, it's a one-step deal. Mix it up, spray it, it's a piece of cake. We're gonna show you how. But before we do that, we actually sent Sam out to DupliColor to show you how this stuff is made. Check this out.
Hi, welcome to Cleveland, Ohio. This is the Sherwin-Williams Research and Development Center. This is where DupliColor paints are put together. And you know, DupliColor's innovation has allowed do-it-yourselfers to protect, restyle, and repaint their vehicles right at home. Today we're going to show you how this all happens. You know, we're here in the lab with my buddy Brian Suter. He's a product specialist for DupliColor. Now, you know, VHT, this is good up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty impressive out of an aerosol can.
It certainly is.
Now, you make a whole bunch of stuff here at DupliColor, don't you?
Well, within these labs, there are a lot of great products developed under the Sherwin-Williams Diversified Brands umbrella, such as products like the H&C floor coating, the spray-on line, Krylon spray paint, VHT, DupliColor touch-up paint, and the product that I truly love the most is the DupliColor Paint Shop line.
This is a perfect lacquer-based paint for the do-it-yourselfer. Now, tell us why it's so good for the do-it-yourselfer.
Well, you know, within the marketing department, what we wanted to do is create a very user-friendly product in which the consumer can literally pour into a spray gun and go.
That's it. You take this out of the can, you shake it up, pour it through your strainer, into your gun, and you shoot it. And of course, it's base coat, clear coat, so it's a lot stronger than the old lacquers we know. Now, how does this differ from those old lacquers?
Well, the original lacquer paints really relied on the color to create the shine. And being a base coat, clear coat system, you're laying down the color and then you're top coating with the clear coat, and that's the color or the product in which you're going to wet, sand, and buff on.
Okay, so you really can do a lot of it. And the neat part is no recoat window. You can match this easy. If you go back in 2 weeks, take another can, shoot it, it's going to have the same color. Now, of course, you know, we all know that lacquer was prone to cracking, and this isn't. Tell me about the chemical composition. How did you get this to be so shiny, so tough and durable, and not crack?
Well, from a product specialist standpoint, I can tell you all about this product. But with the chemistry inside, we'll talk to Joe McCarthy.
I don't want to scare you, but I knew I'd find you here, buddy.
Hi, Sam.
How you doing?
Fine.
Good to see you. This is Joe McCarthy. He's the chemist on this project. Now, I was just in the area over there with Brian Suter, and you know, he's a great marketing guy and a great product specialist. when I said to him, how does this stuff work chemically? He said, go see Joe. So tell me about paint shop, how it differs from regular lacquer.
Well, paint shop is a true lacquer. And what that means to the user, the end user, is several things. Because it dries simply by solvent evaporation, it's easy to clean, easy to handle, it's easy to spray, and then the dry film has an unmatched ability to be buffed and sanded to whatever level of gloss the customer is looking for.
That no recoat window is great.
Right. If you know, in the real world, when you paint a car, you're ultimately going to have problems. You're going to have some dirt pickup. You're going to have an object get into your film. What you're able to do with paint shop is just stop the job, let that area dry, sand it out, and just reshoot it. And you can reshoot it anytime.
That's great. And of course, you know, with this stuff, being a lacquer, you don't have to have an elaborate, full, you know, complete spacesuit on. You can do it with a respirator, an average spray gun, and a small dryer, and you're in great shape.
Right, and that's the kind of equipment that the user has to his access. This is doesn't require professional application, professional equipment, especially the protective equipment, the full body suits, etc. Paint shop is a product that should be sprayed in a dust-free environment, but doesn't require the same kind of professional equipment.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of guys look at, you know, paint shop and say it's a lacquer. In the old days, like my '39 Chevy, you know, it painted 25 years ago with black lacquer. Paint still looks pretty good, but it's cracking. Now, everybody knows that lacquer crack. Now, what separates this from that kind of a paint?
Well, Sam, the lacquers that were formulated in the past, and even some that are available now, are formulated with polymers that old technology, where the emphasis was on high gloss finishes out of a pigmented coating. I mean, because we use a base coat, clear coat approach on this formula, all the buffing takes place with the clear coat. And as a result, it's possible to formulate using modern polymers that give films that are both flexible and hard. And having the hardness still enables you to do the buffing, but being flexible means that this coating moves with the substrate. You know, if cold snap, your film is going to contract, and in the high temperatures under this high heat, and especially sun, it's going to be able to expand and hold up to fully UV stable.
This is all great stuff, but right now we need to take a break. Stick around. When we get back, we've got a lot more to do here in the lab you don't want to miss.
Welcome back. We've got my bike disassembled here. Now we're just about ready to shoot, and we're using this DupliColor paint shop. It's very easy. Stir it up. It's already ready to go. Strain it. We've cleaned it good. We've got a little bit of a scratch adhesion on there with a scuff pad. And now we put a little bit of adhesion promoter just in case. It'll help stick to this kind of plastic stuff. Now it's already black, so we're just gonna go a little bit of flat black over it so you won't really notice. Don't need to mask that because of there. That's about it. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and get her started. So,
Don't breathe.
cool. See how easy that is? And right now, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. Sam is actually in the color room where they mix these colors. Check it out.
You know, when it comes to paint for your car, color is so important. And this is Mr. Color right here. This is John Hood. He's a color technologist. John, how long have you been doing this?
Sam, I've been doing it for 30 years.
That's a long time to be looking at paint colors. You got a lot of experience. Now, I see this pretty little metal thing here with a nice paint job on. What is this?
We get roughly about 150 to 200 OE standards a year, and we have to color match every single one of them.
How do you do that? You hold this under the light. I saw you looking at it. What are you doing?
What I do is I'll take it under one of these light sources, and I'll look at it, and I'll determine what I need to put in it. Like the micas or the aluminums, different particle sizes, the pigments.
Wait. Don't they have a computer to do that? Like you go in a paint store, stick it under there, and the computer tells you what to do?
Yes, they do, but it can't read transparencies or particle sizes that well. So what I'll do is I'll determine it myself what to start with.
That's pretty incredible. Okay, now, once you've done that, we transfer it to a paint. And you know, when you're doing a paint match and you go to a paint store and they mix it up, and you're shooting it, and you're shooting a panel with a gun, it may not be 100%, but you can blend a little bit to the next panel. You've got to be exactly dead on the money, because for their scratch fix product, if you got a scratch in the paint, when you put that touch-up paint right on it out of the little bottle, how do you duplicate it? In fact, you can do something in the lab here and then go out in the sun that looks totally different.
Oh, definitely. That's why we have the Macbeth spectral light. And what we do is we try to eliminate all the metamerisms, try to get the right pigments in it, and we use the 3-light source.
Metamerism. What is a metamerism?
A metamerism is different pigments and different light sources. They all have a different look in it. So we try to get it looking the same in all 3 light sources.
Sort of like this little piece right here. Let's go stick this in the Tacamerism Eliminator light machine. All right, we're over here at the Macbeth. This is the Magic Spectral Light Machine. You know, once you've got this brushed on here, okay, you want to make sure it matches. Now that looks to me, in this light, looks like it matches pretty well.
Sam, it's an exact match right now. What we do is we take it over here and we look under daylight, horizon, incandescent. Once it looks good under all 3 light sources, it'll look great on your car.
That's great. That's the way you take it out of the bottle, touch up your scratch, you got an exact match.
How does carbon buildup rob your engine of performance and economy? We'll have the answer after the break. How does carbon buildup rob your engine of performance and economy? The process of burning gasoline or diesel fuel allows the carbon atoms to build up on the top of the pistons in the combustion chamber and on the valves. This buildup creates excess heat in the cylinders and also restricts good fuel and air fuel mixtures. Using a quality gasoline and adding Z-Max to your fuel system will help remove existing carbon and retard the buildup of additional deposits, giving you a smoother, running, more powerful engine. This tip is brought to you by Z-Max. Performance you can feel.
You know, Joe, it's amazing. You make paint, you know it looks good, you shoot it on, really looks great. And I know you want to make sure that it looks good for a long time. We've seen all kinds of test equipment here. How many tests do you actually use?
Oh, we probably do dozens of tests overall, but you know, here's a couple of units that we rely on pretty heavily. This is a salt fog machine. What this does is it very simply mists a saline solution at about 35 C and runs continuous. We run most of our panels maybe 1,000 hours, but up to 2,000 hours.
Wow.
And if you want to...
Can we look in the oven?
Let's take a look.
All right. Oh, neat. I can touch this stuff, okay?
Sure.
Great. Look at that. Now, what's this?
Well, what we did here is we run a scribe into the paint, and what that does is if we hadn't run the scribe, the paint really would not, it'd take a lot longer for the paint to fail. But what we're measuring here is the creep of the rust in away from the scribe.
I see.
And I think what's interesting about this panel, aside from the salt fog test itself, is it just exemplifies the importance, no matter how good the OE finish is, to use a product like our Scratch Fix to cover that up and stop that corrosion.
Okay, so yeah, once you get a scratch and you're down to metal, then of course you can attack that with just rainwater, everyday elements, start to make rust there, and you can see that'll creep under. That makes a small scratch a big scratch. So that makes sense. So that looks like it's got 2,000 hours on it. That's in pretty good shape. That's some pretty good paint. What's our next test?
Well, over here we have called a QUV machine. Similar to the salt fog machine, this emits a mist of deionized water for a period of time, and then for an equal period of time, or however you program it, it emits UVB radiation. So this is a cycling type test, and what this will do is go reproduce rain cycling with sunlight. Here we might run, you know, between 400 and 1,000 hours. In this panel here, for example, is at 56,720, and the machine is set for 57,081. So we've run about 480 hours on these panels.
That's neat. And of course you got a framework here, so this is subjected to ultraviolet light. It could fade it. When you pull it out, you'll be able to see a margin around that, wouldn't you?
Correct. If we pull the holder out here, for example, you'll see not only the effect of the cycling, but in some areas you'll see the effect of where UV radiation did attack and didn't attack the coating.
I know these machines do accelerated weather testing and stuff, but this is machinery. Do you do real world testing too?
Yeah, absolutely. No matter how good these machines are designed, there's no replacement for actual actual exposure testing outdoors, not only here in Cleveland, but around the country, South Florida, West Coast, marine environments, desert and Phoenix, etc.
So you put out panels already painted and go back and monitor them? Is that what you do?
That's correct.
That's cool. All right, well, we've seen it tested. Let's go mix up a batch and shoot some. This is what I need, Joe. This is a great spray booth. You got all the equipment you need, buddy. While we're here in the spray booth area, you know, we've been all through the company today. We started off with Brian in marketing, and he told us about marketing comes up with a concept. They think they see something the marketplace can use. They go to the chemist team and they say, hey, this is what we want. You guys all work together, bring in Mr. Color, you develop these paints. And then, of course, we saw a whole bunch of testing, and I know I must have seen 6 or 7 or 8 different machines, and you probably go through, what, 30 or 40 tests?
Right, and the next step is we're going to scale up to a pilot batch, and what that will do is that'll make sure that we're able to replicate our results in the lab at the plant level, and then we're going to move on to bringing marketing back in to make sure that they test the product directly themselves to make sure it meets all the design criterion of the project.
Who's Mr. Marketing going to do the shooting?
We're going to bring Brian back for this one.
Let's go get him.
Sam, what are you doing? You're taking my phone away.
Hey, buddy, I'm painting.
You want to shoot it?
Absolutely. Yep, all set to go. You ready to go? Grab some air up there.
Yep. See how it lays down.
There you go. All right. Make sure when you're doing this, folks, that you're in a good ventilated booth or an area with a face protector, eye protector. All right, buddy.
Sam, when we're laying down this product, what we want to look for is even coverage. We want to make sure the product is not too thin. We want to check out dry time as well.
That's great.
Not bad.
You guys back at the shop, you better be doing some really good work. You know, Brian, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, looks like it's got good coverage, you know. A couple passes with the spray gun, bang, had great coverage.
Sure did. I think it covered great. And what I'll do, I'll put some clear coat on top of that and buff it out.
Before I come up here, I had no idea there was so much behind it, from the research, development, testing, to the final product, and you guys all getting together. Really put a lot of work into your paint.
Yeah, we do, and we do that with all of our products because we want to make sure that when the consumer pulls a product off the shelf, they have confidence when they purchase it.
Great. Well, I'll tell you, I had a great time today, and I got to get back to work, make sure the boys in the shop are doing a good job.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, welcome to the break room. Anyone that's done a restoration, anyone that's done a hot rod, we all know safety is imperative, and you never know where this stuff comes from. You never know exactly how it should look and where to put it. Seatbelt Solutions can help you out. They supply a lot of the aftermarket companies around the country, make special things for them. Let's say like this mid-60s Corvette restoration piece here. Looks identical to the factory piece. They have all kinds of different colors that you can use, different styles belts, like this GM aftermarket one here. This is from early Chrysler, all kinds of different hardware. So no matter what you're doing, your affordable solution to safety from Seatbelt Solutions. Next thing we have is the car dolly, and guess what? It's made by Car Dolly. These are made out of extruded aluminum. They're manufactured in the USA, 5/16 inch thick, and when you get a set, they're gonna hold 6,000 pounds, which is plenty, even for that 60s Lincoln that you wanna try to squeeze into your shop. They're half the weight of normal steel. Obviously they're made out of aluminum, they're gonna last forever. Put a car on it, push it over to the side. Let's say you have some tools over here you wanna use that tool, push it right over to that side, use the tool on the other side. Gotta have a car dolly from Car Dolly. Next thing we have is the cat clamp. This is from Jam CJ Innovative Products. Now you may not know it, there's a bunch of dudes out there stealing catalytic converters. Weird as it is, they get in there with a cordless saw, drop it out 15 seconds, take it down to the recycler, and there are precious metals inside that they're actually getting probably $100 for. Now, unfortunately, their $100 profit is about $2,000 loss for you. So this is a protector. This is an anti-theft device. It's a one-part number, fits 99% of any catalytic converters, clamps on either side, runs wires down either way. Basically, so when they go on, they look underneath, and it's way more of a pain in the butt to steal yours, and they'll move on to someone else's. Like I said, there's no drilling, no cutting. Put it in yourself. Very easy to do from Jam CJ. innovative products, the cat clamp. Now, be sure you send in your videos, send in your pictures, check out our website. See you next time in the break room.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show, check out speedtv.com or visit TwoGuysGarage.com.
All right, Byrd. Well, you know what? This thing looks pretty good. I mean, we came up with a cool design just kind of last minute, you know, winged it, took a shot, but I think it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, a couple of hours just goofing off. We totally changed the theme of this bike, and next weekend, if we want to change it again, well, we can.
Yeah, literally this was nothing. And the great thing about this Dupli-Color is it's very easy to use, especially for the do-it-yourselfer.
Yeah.
You know, you can get it anywhere. And by watching that piece with Sam, I mean, you can see they really do a lot of R&D, especially to get their colors right, to get that pop, you know, to make sure that their products are good. And, you know, for us, obviously with flat black, it was easy. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
But silvers, reds, anything like that, you know, it's a lot of work to make sure those colors are right.
Well, they make creativity sort of fun and easy. You know, it takes the sort of fear out of a big project when you don't need to.
Yep. And now we've broken the streak. 6 months, untouched vehicle is finally over. And I'm glad, because you know what? That was a little bit too long for me.
Well, I'd say we go break these things in and spend the rest of the afternoon on a nice ride.
You have a license, right?
I certainly do.
Hey, watch out! Crazy driver coming through, people. Gotta go.